Hey, financially savvy travelers, welcome back to another episode of the Thought Card podcast. As you prepare for the new year, there is a sense of hope, optimism, and adventure in the air. Travel is back in full effect, thank God, with new exciting possibilities. Ability to travel to new destinations, and also nostalgic ones that we enjoyed in the past. I'm really excited for what's to come in 2023. And in this episode, we're chatting about emerging 2023 travel trends. I look forward to these annual reports because it gives us a glimpse into what people are excited about, their current mindsets, and how interests have changed or maybe stayed the same. These subtle differences in our travel style make up who we are, influence the destinations we choose to visit, how we spend our money, and the activities we partake in while traveling. If you are interested in learning how to define your travel style and how it influences your finances in particular, I recommend going back and listening to episode 102. I'll also have the link in the description of this episode. By the way, it's one of the most popular episodes of the year, so I highly recommend it. Travel trend reports spark inspiration. They help us stay in the know and empower us to make informed decisions. Stick around until the end of this episode because I'm going to share my travel predictions as well as what I see becoming more popular and what travelers around the world are prioritizing. A special thank you to everyone who made this episode possible by casting a vote on Twitter and Instagram. I love hearing what you are most interested in listening to next. So the best way to chime in and join the conversation is by following me on Instagram at the Danielle Desir or Twitter at the Thought Card. I run a weekly poll where I share a few episode ideas I'm thinking about, and you can let me know which ones resonate with you. Welcome to the Thought Card, a podcast about travel and money, where planning, saving, and creativity leads to affording travel, building wealth, and paying off debt. We are the financially savvy travelers. Expedia, Hotels.com, and Vrbo released a 2023 travel trends report where they surveyed thousands of people across a number of countries to identify the mindsets of travelers and what they are prioritizing in 2023 and beyond. According to Expedia, travelers are focusing on what they want to do, not what everyone else is doing. And I can definitely see that. We've changed a lot since the pandemic, and maybe going back to the old ways of doing things just doesn't fit for us anymore. There's a renewed focus on exploring what inspires us versus walking down that old beaten path. Visiting a destination because some list told us to just doesn't resonate and motivate us like it used to. I respect that and I totally get it. From this report, though, I wanted to highlight 3 emerging travel trends that I thought were really interesting. We're going to be covering visiting culture capitals, wellness, and cowboycations. I'm in love with the cowboycations. Okay, so the first one is culture capital. So after years of prioritizing the outdoors and open spaces, there's a revival in cityscapes. Travelers are really interested in being in the center of all the action again, and people are traveling to make connections in culture-rich capitals for food, art, and festivals. People want to get exposed to different cultures, see new perspectives, and how other people are living. As we know, food is an important part of culture. A lot of people are curious to experience regional flavors, dishes, and ingredients. Immersive food and drink experiences like food, wine, and beer trails, culinary walking tours, and markets are on the rise. In addition to exploring the food scene, a lot of people also want to see the sights. They want to learn about the history, experience the local art scene, and interact with locals. Some trending culture capitals include Edinburgh, Scotland, Lisbon, Portugal, Tokyo, Japan. Japan recently opened to travelers, so that's very exciting. Dublin, Ireland, and New York City are just some of the trending culture capitals right now. In a similar vein to exploring culture capitals, heritage travel is also on the rise. So people want to know where their family came from. So they are traveling all over the world to visit the hometowns of their great grandparents, which I think is super fascinating. Now, the second emerging travel trend from this report is wellness. So, travel is a part of our wellness journey. Beyond the spa treatments and massages, travelers want to prioritize physical and mental wellness. They want more fitness options and healthy food options too. Travelers don't want to abandon their wellness practices when they go on vacation. They want to maintain it. They also are looking more for stress-free itineraries that focus a lot on relaxation. That could include chakra sessions or laughter therapy. I've heard of chakra sessions, but I haven't heard of laughter therapy. I thought that was again, really fascinating. So wellness is becoming a priority. I think it has been, especially since the pandemic, but definitely coming into the spotlight for 2023 and beyond. And then there's the cowboycations. Yep, hold it there. Sign me up, y'all. I am ready for a cowboycation. Kyle and I are big fans of Yellowstone, the TV show, and we agree with Verbo's findings. Rustic ranches, lodges, and farmhouses are becoming as sought after as beach cottages and mountain cabins. Cowboy charm and outback farmhouses await y'all. Montana and Western USA comes to mind. Now, beyond the Expedia, Hotels.com, and Vrbo 2023 Travel Trends Report, there are some other noteworthy travel trends as well. So there's also a rise in family vacations, in particular, multi-generational vacations. Making up for lost time, many people want to bring their grandparents and great-grandparents along for the adventure, along for the ride. This can be family reunions or simply just inviting the grandparents to join. Back in episode 109, I shared how my mom, Baby K, and I went on our first road trip to the Adirondacks in upstate New York, and that is considered a multi-generational road trip. Multi-generational vacation because it was me, my child, and also my mom, which is Baby K's grandma. So I definitely agree. And personally, I want to share these experiences with my parents, these travel experiences with my grandparents whenever possible. So there is a rise and a big interest in family vacations, especially multi-generational vacations. Also, solo travel is on the rise as well. And in the show notes, I will have a link to Embrace Journey Travel, who had a really great graphic on IG and highlighted that solo travel is on the rise because a lot of people feel like, you know what, this is a good deal and I don't want to miss out. And trying to coordinate with others can be a hassle. So good deals are really inspiring people to go off and travel solo. A lot of people want to get to know themselves, be in different environments. Again, they don't want to deal with coordinating with others. And it's really interesting that people over 65 are booking more solo travel. And also Gen Z and millennials in particular are also trending higher in solo travel as well. So I think this is really fascinating and I can definitely see an interest in solo travel. Also, remote work and in particular, digital nomadism, we know is very popular. Having the freedom to work from anywhere, whether you work for an employer or for yourself, destinations and hotels are catering to digital nomads. There are digital nomad visas. And in the show notes, I'll have a link to a list of countries where there are digital nomad visa options. With that being said, there's also a trend where cities are incentivizing remote workers to come and live there. So you can get paid to move to a new city, like Tulsa, Oklahoma's Tulsa Remote Program. You can receive a $10,000 grant to move to Tulsa and work remote for 1 year. There's also a rise in interesting remote jobs, like being able to live and work at a winery, travel around in an RV to capture content, watch videos and shows and TikToks for hours and get paid. So there's just so many interesting things happening in the remote work, digital nomad space. And Jen on a Jet Plane has a fantastic newsletter where she shares these really cool opportunities every week. So I'll have a link in the show notes so you can go and subscribe and be in the know in terms of what's happening. Lastly, there are also some different trends happening within the hotel and accommodation space. In particular, there are a lot more in-room technology options now. So for example, Peloton bikes and Hilton hotels have partnered. So there are going to be bikes now inside of hotel rooms within Hilton, which is really cool. I have a Peloton and I love it. So can you imagine having no excuse to not work out because your Peloton bike is right there? Also, there's other emerging technologies like Alexa being added to Disney resorts as well, or an Alexa-like technology. So I definitely see more in-room technology being a thing in 2023 and beyond. In the hotel space, there's also hotel day rates and being able to pay by the hour, which is different. I know there are like motels and things like that where that's the case, but in hotels in particular and more luxurious hotels, I feel like this is definitely something to keep an eye out and look out for. There are apps like Hotels by Day that now offer users access to these spaces for significantly cheaper costs, which allows travelers the ability to find a quiet space for any reason. So you can book a day room for work, book a day room for relaxation, parking passes, pool passes, gym passes. So, as someone who is a remote worker, ability to work from anywhere, not only in my home, but being able to be like, hey, I'm going to go to so-and-so hotel and work on my book or work on this project or take this call or rent out this space so that I can do a photo shoot, for example, or record a podcast episode. I think that's really interesting. So the ability to now blend in like the remote work life and being able to book hotels for their specific amenities, I think is really, really cool. And I'm just looking forward to just having more options in that space. All right. So it's now time for my predictions, my travel trends predictions for 2023 and beyond. So I think that road trips and the great outdoors will continue to remain popular, including camping, glamping, and national parks. By the way, Olivia from Oh Christine has a fantastic beginner's outdoor course that I will link to in the show notes. So if you are sort of like me, like you enjoy the outdoors, but just haven't had a camping experience yet, or just haven't even visited national parks yet, which also is me, I think that would be a great course for you to get all your ducks in a row, be informed before you go out there. And, it may also make you feel a lot more confident as well. But I also think that travelers also care about sustainable tourism. We want to choose brands that care about our planet. We want to choose brands that care about their staff and also their local communities. That's really important to us, right? According to Hotel Planner, travelers are searching more for eco-friendly hotels or sustainable travel trips, where part of the experience includes local philanthropic events like growing a community garden or cleaning up a beach. There's also a general sentiment that now is the time to book those wish list trips and big adventures, or not really being afraid to spend on a luxurious trip. Life is short. It's a now or never type of attitude. Time is limited and finite. So I definitely see that a lot of people are just wanting to go. Just go and do the things that light you up, the things that have been on your wish list for so, so, so long. Personally, events and conferences are back, and I'm really excited about that. I love virtual events, but there's something special, magical about being in person. So events, conferences, festivals, concerts are back. And in 2023, I plan on speaking and or attending conferences in Arizona, New Orleans, and Puerto Rico, to name a few. I am also really excited about these awesome brand partnerships. So if you don't know, Delta and Starbucks have a partnership where you can earn Delta Sky Miles at Starbucks. This is a game changer. This is pure gold. And if you ask me, this is the partnership of the decade. I love Starbucks and I love earning Delta Sky Miles on my Starbucks purchases. I'll have a link in the show notes where you can go ahead and link your Starbucks and Delta Sky Miles accounts together to start earning those. So I do see more of these amazing brands coming together and partnering and finding ways to be able to offer more perks to their customers. So I am all for these brand partnerships. For the more budget conscious travelers, because prices are so high, there's an emphasis on finding destinations based on price instead of location. So what I mean by this is like following the flight deal, for example. My favorite flight deal notification service, as you know, is Thrifty Traveler Premium. They send you an email notification whenever airfare deals are spotted from your airport in the US or also Canada. If you use my promo code TC10, you'll be able to save $10 on your first year of subscription with Thrifty Traveler Premium. So if you're more budget conscious, then following the flight deals may be a really good approach to being able to travel and to go out there. Now, on the health and safety front, I have seen relaxed and or no mask mandates. But there is still this underlining expectation for airlines, hotels, anything in the travel space to continue doing their part to prevent the spread of COVID and other germs. So I think travelers still want to see rigorous cleaning and sanitizing protocols in place. So we just want to know that all of these cleaning measures are happening in the background. We don't want to go back to pre-pandemic times when it comes to health and safety. We want to make sure health and safety is a top priority for all the brands that we choose to utilize, even though there's not that much of a mask or social distancing mandate anymore. All right, lastly, my last prediction. This is a big one, I think, and this is really important. As we know, hotel prices have gone up, airline prices have gone up, and we are in this space right now. However, we want hotels, tours, and airlines to back up the high prices with quality service, right? Like we really care about value. Don't jack up the prices and then offer us a really crappy experience. So I think more financially savvy travelers who are willing to spend more on travel because of the higher prices, they're going to be asking themselves, what are we getting for these high prices? You know, as financially savvy travelers who often have money to spend, but care about the value that we receive, it's really important that our spending is aligned with the expectations we have for quality service, okay? High rates, we want good service, not high rates and bad service. That's just a way to get us upset and maybe potentially not even use you again, right? So there's just a lot of interesting things. I really enjoyed putting this episode together because it made me think about, okay, what am I seeing in terms of like travel trends from my point of view and my lens? But also, I really do love digging into the data and these different reports. So I will absolutely have the different reports that I gleaned from. These insights will be in the show notes. So definitely go ahead and check them out if you are interested and have a moment to continue to dig in and see what's trending. I hope that this episode inspires you and gives you some ideas for what's possible next year in 2023 and beyond. And I absolutely want to hear from you. What travel trends have you spotted? What did I miss? What are you thinking like is the trend or the next hottest thing? Head over to thoughtcard.com and leave your thoughts in the comments below. You can also leave me a rating and a review of this episode or, the podcast in general over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I wish you a happy new year and an incredible travel-filled 2023. So until next time, financially savvy travelers, bye. I hope you enjoyed this episode, but don't forget there's way more where that came from. When you become a supporter of the show, you'll get bonus episodes, additional tips on affording travel, real-time updates, as well as strategies for building wealth and creating multiple income streams. Head over to thoughtcard.com/join to support. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm at the Danielle Desir. Slide in my DMs and share with me your thoughts about this episode. What did you enjoy? What stood out to you? Let me know. I'd absolutely love to connect with you outside of the podcast. See you in the next one.